Hello and welcome to Edikimi's YouTube channel and editorial discussion for 27th April 2022. My name is Harsh Singh and in this video we shall discuss an editorial from the Indian Express which is titled PDS and End of a Golden Chapter. The editorial speaks about the complete history of PDS food supplies in the country by the government, its present circumstances and what lies ahead. If you like this initiative, share some love through likes, shares and subscribes. Let's discuss. The editorial begins by saying that the times of COVID, especially the first year, has been of great significance for India's agriculture sector. The agriculture sector grew sustainably at 3% plus rate, despite the fact that the whole economy of India it contracted by 5%. And it also agriculture sector also aided to employment in the complete agriculture supply chain. That means linking the economies, the forward and backward linkages included. And this is one of the finest times for agriculture economy. In fact, not only the year of pandemic, the first year, but the second year of pandemic was also very significant because PDS, the Public Distribution System Network of India, had a remarkable supply management of the food grains around the country. This this system delivered during the times of crisis. Now, this is the first time that India has seen a major crisis happening in the country, a major disaster happening in the country, which does not lead to widespread starvation. The 1943 Bengal famine and then 1966 famine in Bihar all led to mass level of starvation in the country. This has not been recorded this time. And IMF and World Bank, all of them are proof of this, saying that India's poverty level declined even amidst the disaster of COVID in the country. So this has happened because of government procurement, which increased from around 70 million tons post National Food Security Act, which got initiated in the year 2013. At this 70 million ton procurement, it increased to 90 million tons and later 105 million ton. This was the level of distribution which was happening. And in fact, since we are speaking of the history of the food supplies in the country, before the essential supplies, that is National Food Security Act supplies, 50 million tons were distributed by the government to the needy people. And after 2013 Act, 70 million tons, and now 90 and 105 million ton of food were distributed, and that led to this remarkable journey, right? So distribution effectively done by the government of India. Now, this is where a quick summary of National Food Security Act is also provided in the editorial. It says 75% of India's poor population, rural poor population, and 50% of urban poor. This constitutes to around 66% of India's total population, 67%. So these are the population which are directly affected because of targeted public distribution system network, targeting 80 crore people of the country and providing them 5 kilos of the food grains per person per month. So a family household of 5 people will receive 25 kilos of ration per month, and this would include they would have to pay a meager charge of 2 rupees for wheat and 3 rupees for rice. Why is rice more expensive? See, rice is more expensive because the whole cost of creating and manufacturing the whole product is higher. Just imagine water cost is only high for rice, so you can remember like this. Now, apart from this, there was another scheme called as Prime Minister Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana, which aided 5 kilo of free ration to all the persons in falling in this bracket, 80 crore people. So this was free and this is paid at a very small amount. And apart from this, another scheme has been running which is called as the Antyodaya Anna Yojana, right? For the extremely poor, free food, 35 kilo of food in that family, right? Apart from this, some states also offered extra food services. For example, monthly kit provided by Kerala. You can look at this kit. 17 essential items of food were provided. For example, coconut oil, pulses, sugar, salt, tea, coriander, turmeric, chili powder, soap. All of these important required items were provided to people during the times of need in the last 2 years. So food supply, not only food production, food supply was robust in the country during these times. But let's look at the other side as well. There has been rise in offtake, rise in total consumption, rise in production. That's absolutely true. And this rise has been phenomenal, especially in the poorest state, which are represented as a part of Niti Aayog's report. So Bihar, Jharkhand, and Uttar Pradesh happen to be amongst the poorest states in the country. And if you see the kind of offtake, that means the kind of procurement that the kind of food supply that they have done for the poor, that has increased phenomenally. Before Before 2013 Act, there was 7 million tons of procurement by UP for distribution for people. There later on it grew to 9 million tons, and now it is 17 million tons after the Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana. And similar for Jharkhand, 1 million ton to 2 to 3 million tons being utilized. So this drastic increase has been the reason for what? The one thing could be that they have targeted people now better than before, so, and they have targeted more people, that's very good. But having said that, this targeting is resulting in 25% of total offtake. That means if 100 was the supply, 29% of it is going to only these three states, and this is more than the proportion of population of these states. How is this possible? This is possible when, see, this is Jharkhand, and it is increased its supplies, and Uttar Pradesh, it has increased its supplies, right? So this is possible because of certain issues like PDS reforms, which have not happened in these states. PDS has been doing a wonderful job in Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, etc. But then issues like diversion or leakages. Simple example is having a point of sale device connected to one's Aadhaar card. If sale is happening, then Aadhaar card should be linked who is getting this sale. This is a reform required. GPS based tracking, so that the tracking of the trucks which contain the PDS supplies, it is not diverted to other countries. It has been alleged it has been diverted to Nepal and to Bangladesh. It should not be done. So to do this, GPS based tracking has to be enabled. Then running of fair price shops by cooperatives or the local persons rather than private persons, and timely allocation of these resources to the respective states by the central government, by passing middle persons and directly procuring it from the FCI to the local fair price shops. Now these are important reforms, important, so please do remember them as well. These are important reforms, but then there are challenges apart from these kind of reforms. See, we have been able to distribute so much of food grain because of abundance, but now we will be seeing some times of crisis as well. The crisis could be due to issues like high temperature. In the month of March, we saw high temperatures at the grain fields as well, and this led to the lesser productivity of the grains. The process of grain formation, the process of formation of the grain, it does not happen effectively when the temperature is far above 30 degrees Celsius. We are talking of wheat grain production formation. Along with that, this also led to burning of the grain, so quality was low. Procurement will be low because of all these issues. Apart from that, government has spent huge amounts in food subsidy itself. More than 3 lakh crore being spent for just this food procurement and subsidy, and 30% of leakages in this. Along with that, international prices are rising. So international prices of all food commodities are rising. So this leads to showing that possibly government will be procuring less wheat than before. And see, one important mandate for PDS, public distribution system, was that during times of distress, during times of inflation, people should be protected. Now how will government be protecting people during this time of distress, whether it be urban slum population or rural poor population? This is to be found out. But then PDS system has got some issues. It needs to be rectified, or possibly needs to be curtailed during now these times. Now a quick question: mention three reasons for continuation of Prime Minister's Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana and three reasons to stop this program. Exercise your mind and write down in the comment section. If you have questions and doubts, please put them again in the comment section. And if you like this initiative, share some love through likes, comments, and subscribes. Thank you for watching.